Good morning and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, May 12th. You can see temperatures very nice out there this morning, anywhere from the low 50s to the upper 50s. And we got a nice warm day coming up with highs well into the 70s for most areas. We're also going to see a cold front move through the area here late, and that's going to bring some showers and some thunderstorms. Right now, the best bet looks for the stronger storms and the best chance for those storms to be across eastern and southeastern lower Michigan over into southwest Ontario, where some of those could be marginally severe. If we look at the Great Lakes in general, you can see it very warm across the entire region with mainly 50s, even some low 60s across southwest lower Michigan. And you can see our winds are primarily out of the southeast, out ahead of that cold front that'll be moving into the area. If we take a look at our normals, the normal high is 68 for today. The normal low is 43. And you can see back here a trace of snow back in 1996. Well, 10 years from that, well, not today, but in the coming days, could we see some snowflakes in the air? That's certainly a possibility. If we look at the rainfall amounts from the other day, from Monday into Tuesday, we forecasted the best chance of rain to be across southwest lower Michigan. And you can see in the yellow is a quarter to a half inch, orange a half to 3/4, and then the red locations just over 3/4 of an inch of rain. Once you got north of this line, you had some greens, which would be 1 to 2 tenths. And then you can see a lot of areas didn't pick up any precipitation and only a few hundredths to a tenth as you got into much of the area to the northeast of that line. If we look at the soil conditions around the state, you can see we do now have Blissfield online. And again, it'll take about a week, 10 days, or 2 weeks for the soil moistures to become acclimated with the soil as they were pre-wetted. And you can see, though, temperatures certainly warmer as we had a nice day yesterday and very warm overnight lows. Our temperatures are well up into the 50s, and we'll really rise them up quite a bit today. But boy, are we going to get cold this weekend. If we look at the soil accumulation so far for the year, again, just getting a good start, but we're starting to move up at a little bit quicker pace now. And even Brown City nearing the 50% plant date on corn. I'm not sure if they're going to use yesterday or if they'll be able to make that happen today, but they're right there close. You can see the 2-inch level, how it's dried out here in the Breckenridge area over the last few days after being quite moist. Again, the lower levels, plenty of moisture available. If we look at the pace, the 20-year comparison here in Breckenridge, you can see, again, just getting started, but we're kind of on that lower end of the pack. We'll go up a nice jump today, but then we'll flatten right out over the weekend as we have highs mainly in the 50s this weekend, maybe only in the upper 40s, mid to upper 40s on Saturday. And again, we might even see some instability rain showers that may mix with some snow, grapple, or sleet. You can see on the forecast map for this morning a low pressure system coming in towards the state. Again, a warm front off to the south, and that'll touch off thunderstorms across the area. And again, I think any severe or strong storms should be south of Michigan, but there could be some marginally severe storms over in the Thumb and southeast lower Michigan and into southwest Ontario. If we look at the forecast map, by tomorrow that low pressure well off to the east, the cold front comes through, and we'll have some substance here. We'll have temperatures probably in the low to mid 60s for tomorrow, but this is the cold front that's going to bring the really cold air and pivot troughs around it to the south, and that'll bring, you can see already some snow showing up in the forecast for tomorrow across Minnesota into the Arrowhead. And if we go by Saturday morning's outlook, you can see low pressure dropping to our south. We'll have instability showers Saturday morning, and we got area of likely light snow across northern lower Michigan. And again, later on in the day into Saturday evening, maybe Sunday morning, we could see scattered snow showers move in to parts of mid-Michigan as well. So certainly it's going to be very cold even if we don't see any snowflakes in the air. If we look at the next slide, you can see the GFS puts down some light accumulations of snow. Not really accumulating, it's basically showing you how much snow will fall. None of it will accumulate unless we get a brief heavy snow shower that could whiten the ground, but that's not likely. In fact, it's probably not likely we'll see snow, but it's certainly, if you see some, don't be surprised. Certainly it's going to be cold enough for that could happen, especially in any precipitation shower that comes down at a pretty good pace. Could briefly change over to some snow. Again, you can see the forecast map for severe weather today. Much of the area last night from around Saginaw to Jackson was under actually a slight risk, so they've downgraded that and shifted it farther southeast. Looks like just some general thunderstorms possible today for most of the area. And you can see the forecasted lows for Sunday morning. This was yesterday's forecast. from the GFS. If we look at the new one, you can see more in the way of 20s showing up now, all the way down to Jackson, low 30s. But again, this would be a very significant frost and freeze, especially as we think we could see these temperatures for over 3 hours, 4 hours. So we certainly want to follow that here over the next day or two. If we look at the precipitation, this was yesterday's 7-day forecast, and you can see the system that's going to come up through the area to our south next week is going to bring quite a bit of rainfall that edges into lower Michigan just a little bit. But you can see on this latest forecast model, it shifted that a little bit farther to the north. So it looks like more substantial rains becoming more likely or more possible as we get into the middle of next week, something we're going to keep an eye on. So it's going to continue to be on the chilly side once we get past today, and on the wet side. But as we get into next weekend, we're going to see temperatures begin to really warm. I think we'll be around or in the 70s next weekend, and I think we could see plenty of 80-degree temperatures for the following week. Again, summer's going to be coming, but boy, we got to get through these next 7 days first. And you can see as far as the 8 to 14-day outlook, this was yesterday's, and you can see the new update. Well, we can go back to that real quick here. Hopefully, you can see the new update has us more solidly in the warm area across much of the eastern United States as the trough begins to get settled in across the west, and that's what we've been waiting for. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day, and 73s to all.